Both the Labor and the Liberal parties have unveiled their housing policy election announcements aimed at assisting first home buyers and addressing the housing crisis.
Every one of us building Australia's future together.
I will be a Prime Minister who restores the dream of home ownership.
The overall sentiment in the media is that these are basically pretend and extend strategies that both parties are promising and are just going to keep making the housing market problems worse. Economists have a frank assessment. Saul Eslake said the announcements marked a bad day for home buyers. Chris Richardson described it as being a dumpster fire of dumb stuff. Domain's economics head Dr. Nicola Powell said the extra demand the assistance would generate will elevate prices even further. In this video, we're going to go over each party's housing policies. Honestly though, it is refreshing to hear voices in the mainstream speak some sense. Yes, it's going to cause house prices to increase. Yes, it's going to further increase the wealth divide. And yes, it's going to make a more unfair system for future generations. If you don't know me, my name is Will Bell. I've run my own mortgage brokerage down here in Melbourne since 2011. In that time, I've had sideshow tickets to the property circus, and I've been commenting on things like housing policy for the past few years here on YouTube. If you like my content, please support me by subscribing. If you need help with a home loan, you can find my links in the descriptions below. The Labor Party has announced several initiatives. The 5% deposit scheme, first home buyers can purchase a home with a 5% deposit, with the government guaranteeing the remaining 15%. The scheme originally came in under the first home loan deposit scheme in 2020 and has morphed and changed into several different schemes since then. Most commonly known now as the first home guarantee. In this scheme, the government partly guarantees the loan, which means the borrower does not have to pay mortgage insurance, effectively moving the risk from the insurers to the taxpayer. The Housing Australia Future Fund, a $10 billion fund aiming to build 30,000 social and affordable homes over the next 5 years. The challenge with social housing is that even if we can achieve this target, it doesn't come close to solving the issue. There are a lot more than 30,000 homes needed. Everybody's Home is a national campaign launched in 2018 by a coalition of housing, homelessness and welfare organisations in Australia. Its primary goal is to address the country's housing crisis by advocating for systematic reforms that ensure Australians have access to safe, secure and affordable housing. They estimate we will need 640,000 homes to address the housing shortfall. The government are aware of this with the Social Housing Accelerator, a $2 billion initiative to expedite the construction of thousands of new social homes. There's also the Help to Buy scheme, a shared equity program where the government co-purchases up to 40% of the home with eligible buyers, reducing mortgage repayments, allowing home buyers into the market with just a 2% deposit. Using some simple math, a buyer with a $500,000 borrowing capacity can now afford a place for $833,000. This effectively will bring a lot of demand forward, as well as pumping more money into the property market. All of this culminates in the National Housing Accord, a commitment to build 1.2 million new homes over 5 years in collaboration with the states, territories and the construction sector. A recent report states that we will be 462,000 homes behind by the time we get to 2029, which is when we're meant to deliver this 1.2 million homes. There's also additional measures from the Labor Party, including a $1.5 billion housing support program for infrastructure, a $1 billion fund for crisis and transitional accommodation, a 2-year ban on foreign buyers purchasing existing homes. About time. The Liberal Party's policies start off with the mortgage interest deductibility. This is the first home buyers purchasing new builds. They can deduct their mortgage interest on loans up to $650,000 from their taxable income for the first 5 years. At the moment, it is unclear how this would work with borrowing capacities. If all it does is increase the amount of debt people can get into, it will push up house prices. The Liberals also have the superannuation access, which proposes to allow first home buyers to withdraw up to $50,000 from their superannuation to assist with the deposit. In my mind, this is robbing Peter to pay Paul. Getting people into more debt whilst robbing them of a future retirement, which is what super is meant to do. Instead of that $50,000 compounding till retirement, It is allowed to be leveraged into more debt where the banks get the compounding rewards. The Liberals also propose a temporary ban on foreign property buyers and a reduction in immigration to alleviate the housing demand pressure. What strikes me about this is that both parties have only promised temporary bans. The truth is that foreign people don't want to pay for a uni degree for their kid unless they can buy a property here as well. Okay, I get that that was a contentious statement, so please comment if you can convince me of why we should allow foreign ownership in this country. The other big one from the Liberals was the $5 billion commitment to fund essential infrastructure like water, power, sewerage and housing development sites. The idea here is to fast track all of this so that we can build housing developments faster. The sad truth is that Australia cannot build stuff. I mean, here in Victoria, we've got 2 roads that have taken 10 years to build, and they aren't even finished yet. And finally, they're setting a target for 400,000 apprentices and trainees in training, with new incentives for small and medium businesses to hire and train these apprentices. The observation of all of these policy announcements is that they are really confusing. It's like where one lie becomes a web of lies and eventually the liars get caught out. As every year goes by, the policy response from mainstream politicians becomes less acceptable, and judging by the Economists' responses, their web of lies are beginning to come crashing down. Unfortunately, this still does not help the majority of Australians. If you like this content, please do me a favour and subscribe to the channel. And if you need help with a home loan, please find the link in the description. Cheers.